And welcome back. Our final segment this morning is a conversation with our friends from the Belize Council for the Visually Impaired as they come on set this morning to discuss their summer camp. We have been joined by the coordinator at BCVI, none other than Carla Musa. Good morning.
Good morning.
And of course, Sabrina Castro, she's the rehabilitation assistant over at BCVI. Good morning once again, ladies.
Good morning.
Let's begin by talking about the summer camp. It's an annual feature for you guys to, bring all of these kids together and get them involved in the work of the BCVI. Let's start there. What can we expect this year, and what has been going on in terms of the planning for this annual event?
Well, we're actually really excited because, and everybody hates to hear the phrase pre-COVID or COVID, but this is our first camp since 2019 because of COVID. So we at BCVI, we utilize the community-based rehabilitation approach, which means that on a daily basis, our field officers are out in homes and schools and communities working with people who are irreversibly blind. Once a year for a week, this year we're doing it for a week, not 2 weeks, because it's the first time in a while, we bring all the children in the program together along with a family member, and they get to socialize, we take them on field trips, and we get them prepared for the upcoming school year. So services or skills like Braille, how to use a laptop, strengthening in orientation and mobility, because we take it for granted, right? You go to school for the first day, maybe it's a new school, they tell you where the bathroom is and you find it. But for a child who is blind, we have to go through orientation and mobility to teach them the steps to be able to get to the restroom at school. So things like that to make sure that they're living as independently as possible, but also have a chance to see each other, and they're super excited about that, just being able to socialize and be together again after so many years.
I can imagine. I'll say I did not know about the BCVI summer camp, and it's already so impactful just learning that you guys interact with a population that is so in need of help, with of course the intention of having them be as independent as possible. Can you talk to us about the number of persons that would attend the camp?
Yeah, well, Sabrina is on the ground, and she actually works on a daily basis in the homes and schools and has been contacting our clients to see who's going to be able to make it this year.
So this year we have about 25 kids that will be attending along with one guardian. So we will be hosting the summer camp at Stella Maris, so we'll be housing about the 25 kids along with their parent, about 15 individuals.
What do you have planned for them this year?
Well, the first day will be Saturday, which will be the 15th of July. We have them, the students, the patients, they'll be coming in. We'll be registering them in, getting them settled, having the kids get a feel around of the campus. The Sunday, we have a golf ski trip planned for them.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah. On the Monday, the Tuesday, we will be having teaching them to Braille, orientation and mobility, teaching those that need to know how to use the cane, be getting them around, walking them around. In the evening, we'll be having activities for them. We also have a Wanacasta Park trip for them as well.
Wow. A lot of excursions.
Yes.
Yeah.
We try to get them to see as much as possible of the country, and we had started working with Sea Charters of Belize and CZMAI who would help us get the kids out to golf ski, and that's one trip that they don't want to ever have removed, because that's what everybody's looking forward to, even us, just getting to be free and be out there and have a great time.
Talk to me about the reaction of the parents, because during summertime, we expect a lot of summer camps. But as we mentioned, the disabled community, disabled children aren't always able to participate in these camps. Could you talk to us about the reaction of families, the parents, just knowing that there's something for their children?
I think they've been waiting for it to come back around. And what we noticed, I think with us just as individuals, as grown-ups, and you think about children especially too, the mental health and sort of what everybody has been through emotionally in the last few years is very important to address. And so we're looking also at a section of sort of just talking and therapy along with your previous guest, Ms. Krista, who will come in and be able to talk to parents. And we noticed at the camp we had in 2019 that it really, just as much as it is for the children, for the parents, because you then get to lean on other parents who know what you're going through,
Yeah.
right? And when you bring that mental health and emotional well-being component into it, then you have a professional who is able to help guide parents and children through whatever it is that they might be going through. So we are going to be focusing a bit on that this year as well, just to check in with everybody and see how we can help in that respect as well.
So there's been a gap since 2019 when you last had your summer camp activities, and now I'm trusting that you guys have been in touch with a lot of the kids who were participating at that time. What has their reaction or their growth and outlook been like during that interim?
I think it's been difficult for everyone. You know, we were told at the beginning of COVID, don't let anyone, touch you, don't let anyone into your house. You can't be face to face with people, you have to be careful. Our work is community-based rehabilitation. So you then have external people needing to go into your home, needing to hold your hand and teach you how to use a cane. For a person who is blind, who's in a new environment, it's very much about having a sighted guide. So you will have to be very physically close, holding on to that person as you use your cane to maneuver. So if you imagine the disconnect and what it was like for the entire community of people who are blind during that year, maybe year and a half. So there was a bit of a warming up that it took to kind of have people let us back into their homes. Then a lot of our homes are multi-generational. So you have high-risk grandparents or aunts living in those homes, and makes it even more difficult for us, to come in and sort of provide those services. Kids are very resilient though, and I think that we have a lot to speak of the families that support the children in our program, who have been there for them, working with us over the phone, perhaps over Zoom calls, even looking at the work we did with teachers when everybody was going back to school, training sessions online just to help the teachers know how they could help the children as best as possible. So, the reception has been really good, but especially now that things sort of feel back to normal, and the WHO has declared that, it's no longer a pandemic or a crisis. So I think, people are just happy to be able to really engage in the service once again, and we're thrilled that we can, work to our fullest as well.
Do you have a cap on the number of kids that you want to be able to interact with this summer, or is it just open to anyone?
I would say it's just for the
Initial 25?
the initial 25. Okay, we did call quite a few, but due to some parents, to be honest, some of them are still not open to the idea of having their kids out with everyone.
But I mean, in case we haven't been able to reach anyone, it really is to target all the children in BCVI's program. So any child who has been diagnosed as irreversibly blind or severely low vision, if you haven't heard from us yet, parents, contact us so that we can get your child registered for the camp.
Wonderful. All right, well, any last words in regards to the BCVI summer camp?
Well, thank you for having us on here, because a big part of what we do at BCVI and our rehab program especially is completely free of cost to our clients. So really what we need support in is with contributions and donations to make it possible. 40% of our budget of what we're trying to raise is so that we can purchase all the supplies the children need. So Braille typewriters, laptops, canes, talking calculators, things that we can't find here in Belize. BCVI sources those, brings them, and then we give them to everyone in our program. So we appreciate any support that we can get to be able to do that, and then to be able to host them, bring them to the city, and take them on these trips also is something that we're looking for support in.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you ladies so much for joining us. We are going to our final break, and when we come back, we're going to wrap things up.